Hi, friends. Welcome. And this is Ritti Gulati, your mentor for RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A exams. So, welcome to my channel. Now, before we move on and understand how one needs to prepare for RBI Grade B 2024 examination, let me quickly give you a sneak peek as to what am I doing here and what is my background, right? So, friends, I started off by my career in the edtech industry in the year 2017 or 2016 late, right? And I was one of the members in EduTap. Basically, I worked there for 3.5 years of my time. Few of you might be able to recognize me, few of you might have forgotten me, but yes, I used to train the students, help them to clear RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, and SEBI Grade A. After my stint in EduTap for 3.5 years, where I was there as a mentor, as an educator, I moved on to Olive Board. Again, I helped students clear RBI Grade B there. There was a personalized mentorship program that was there on Olive Board. So I was a super mentor. There were nearly 150 students that I trained for 2023 batch that year. Right. And then my latest stint was with Adda 247, and that was a short stint. There, I was not involved in RBI Grade B. I was involved in the JAP CAP category, though, for a very short period of time. So, yes, this has been my journey. But all through this period of my journey, I was having a very close association with my students, wherein, there was a lot of counseling sessions. There were a lot of preparation strategy helping sessions. So this is what I've been doing, and now I've actually taken a different trajectory in my career, wherein I'm into sports tech right now. But this is something which comes naturally to me, and honestly speaking, you can just wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me how to prepare for RBI Grade B, and I'll be able to tell you. Believe me on that, because that's what has made me in the first place. So I have a lot of emotional attachment when it comes to RBI Grade B, because before that I was an aspirant, right? It was a like kind of journey for me to come from there till here. So I would never forget RBI Grade B and how that particular phase transformed my life today. So I would want to give it back. I would want to still be a part of this because it runs in my blood, honestly. So this is the first step I'm taking towards this particular dream of mine, wherein I want to help these students. I want to be associated with the student community in spite of having a different career option or career trajectory, I would say. So here I am with this particular video of mine, wherein I'm trying to give you a sneak peek as to how can one prepare for RBI Grade B 2024 with a 5-week study plan. I hope you appreciate this initiative and just let me know if it actually helped you at the end. So here you can see that you have important dates in front of you. 25th July, the applications were open, and now the application forms are open till 16th of August, right? And you have phase one examination, which is going to be held on 8th of September 2024. And the next exam is going to be on 19th of October, phase two examination. Now, these are important dates, and I hope all of you have started to apply for this particular examination. Now, one very important thing that we need to keep in mind is the difference that we have between phase one and phase two, right? So, that is going to be our timeline, which I will just show you in a while. So, what is the agenda that we are looking at in today's session? The first thing that we'll be looking at is the timeline, right? It's important for us to understand the number of weeks that we have in our hands, right? The next thing is important points. Now, why is this necessary, friends? See, there are different sets of students, right, who are there and preparing for the examination. But you need to understand your background. You need to understand how many exams are you preparing for, what are the exams are you preparing for, and accordingly you need to tweak your strategy. And that is where we are doing this video today. The last thing is obviously going to be our 5-week study plan that we'll be referring to, and we'll break down the entire syllabus, the entire strategy into weeks, so that anybody who's giving the examination for the very first time is able to do it in a single go, right? Fine. So now looking at the timeline here, we have 4 weeks in the month of August 2024, and we have 1 week of the month of September, right? So we will utilize these 5 weeks in such a way that you're able to clear the examination with the right strategy. Okay, let's have a look at the pattern. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Fine. So when I talk about the pattern, if you have checked the RBI Grade B 2024 notification, you would have seen that under the section pattern, you have the mention of these sections: GA, reasoning, English, and quantitative aptitude, right? So these are the 4 sections that have been mentioned, but they did not mention for how many marks and number of questions plus the time. So this screenshot that you see here is based on the previous year exam, 2023. 99% it is going to be the same thing, but this detailed info comes out only with the information handout that you get, okay? Just when your admit cards are about to release. So you need to know how many marks, okay, how many questions, and you also need to know there is sectional timing, okay? So there is sectional timing, and why this is important, because earlier it was easier for one to, move between the sections, but now it is not possible. You need to have a strategy. If you are attempting GA, you just have 25 minutes to do so, and then you need to move on to the next section, right? So we need to know the timing for practice. Now here comes the pattern for phase 2, right? So you have 3 papers under phase 2. One is paper 1, economics and social issues, okay? Then you have paper 2, that is descriptive answer writing. Then you have paper 3, which is finance and management, right? One important thing that you need to realize here is these papers, paper 1 and paper 3, have a mention of both objective and the descriptive type of questions, right? So from the past few years, a couple of years, we have seen the introduction of descriptive answer writing. Firstly, it was completely objective. Few of you might feel this is a change which will, make this exam tough, but let me correct you. It is going to make the examination easier for you. As we move forward, you will realize why. Okay, so not spending much time here. Make sure you read the notification properly and you're aware regarding the pattern. One important thing, students get confused, so let me mention here. When you talk about objective, right, 50% objective, so there are going to be 30 questions in total. You can see here, okay, 30 questions are going to be there for objective for 50 marks, right? Few of the questions would be for 2 marks and few of the questions would be for 1 mark. It is important for you to understand. Coming to the descriptive answer writing part, you need to attempt 4 descriptive questions. Okay, when you talk about ESI 4, finance and management 4, you will be given 6 questions, right? 3 questions are 15 markers, 3 questions are 10 markers. Out of those 3 15 marker questions, you will attempt 2, and out of those 3 10 marker questions, you will attempt 2. So totally 4 out of 6. Right? And if it is a 15 marker, it is 600 words that is required. If it is a 10 marker, it is 400 words that is required. Okay. Now, this is the interview phase that you see here. Very simple. Interviews for 75 marks. Earlier, a couple of years before, it was for 50 marks. But when they introduced descriptive answer writing, it has been changed from 50 to 75. Right? Okay. Now let's understand about the important points. As I told you, why do you need a strategy video in the first place? See, there can be n number of students who are actually preparing for this exam. Few of you are first timers, right? You haven't attempted RBI grade B examination before, right? You don't have any background of, attempting any competitive exam. There can be a set of students who are preparing for other exams, like say SBI PO, IBPS PO, IBPS clerk, SBI clerk, right? And any other, maybe SSC CGL. So now the kind of preparation you need for RBI grade B is going to be a little different. There can be a few common points. There can be a few points which are totally different. So you need to understand the importance, right? And what are the areas that you need to concentrate on. Now, let me clear a few pointers first before we delve into the complete strategy. Here you can see phase 1. Okay, we'll talk about each phase here and then we'll move forward. When you see phase 1 out here, it is for 200 marks, we know that. We also should know that it is qualifying in nature. When I say qualifying in nature, what I mean is I'm just supposed to clear this cutoff, beat the sectional cutoff, beat the overall cutoff, right? That is my job. But whatever marks I'm getting here, it is not going to be carried forward for selection in the next phase. Like the complete list, when it is prepared, the final list, it will have marks of phase 2 and interview, right? Okay. Now, if the exam is qualifying in nature, your focus should be to just pass the exam, right? It is not necessary for you to give complete energy to qualify phase 1 because again, a person who's scoring, say, I'm just giving you example, out of 200, if the cutoff is say 60, even if you're scoring 70, you're in. Even if you're scoring 90, you're in. Even if you're scoring 100, you're in, right? So the only thing you need to focus on is safely clear the cutoff. And for that, what we need to do, we'll be seeing in today's video. Okay. So first thing, GA section is going to be the key for you. Here you can see the 4 sections that are there in your phase 1 examination. GA is for 80 marks out of 200. Definitely it is going to be the key for you to clear phase 1, right? And how do you need to crack GA section? We will talk about that as well. Fine. Now you need to concentrate on quant, reasoning and English such that you're just focused on clearing the sectional cutoff, right? So out of these 3 sections, quant, reasoning and English, there is one section that you need to choose or be confident about. So if you're good in English, your comfortable sections should be GA plus English. If you're good in reasoning, your comfortable sections would be GA plus reasoning. Quantitative aptitude is something I would not recommend because it is very unpredictable, the type of questions that are being asked. So anybody who's looking to clear phase 1, just make sure you clear the sectional cutoff for quantitative aptitude. Out of reasoning and English, choose one section which is your star section along with the GA section. Fair enough? We'll see about the cutoffs also in the later part here. The next thing that we're going to be talking about is phase 2. So again, the marks that you get in phase 2 is definitely going to be counted for your final selection. And let me tell you, the interview process is very subjective, right? So you guys, if you clear phase 1, your job is to make sure you maximize your scores in phase 2. So in phase 2, you have ESI, descriptive answer writing, and you have finance and management. So paper 1, it is current affairs heavy. Why am I mentioning this here? Anybody who is giving the paper for the first time, if you look at the notification, you will get a feeling that, it is very economics heavy. On the contrary, you just need to know the basics of economics and it is current affairs heavy, right? So your preparation should be in that direction. Fine. The next thing is descriptive English. You need to concentrate more on practice rather than content, because for content, you're already preparing ESI, you're already preparing finance and management, so you don't have to worry much about it, right? So you will have to make sure you're continuously practicing and understanding how to write an essay, right? So that's how your mind should work. The next thing is paper 3, finance and management. Earlier there used to be very skewed weightage between finance and management. Okay, so more number of questions were being asked from finance and less from management, but over the years it has been a 50-50 affair, right? So 50% finance, 50% management. So now management is pretty easy compared to the other sections, right? So that's how your approach needs to be. So this is about phase 2. Phase 3 is your interview, right? And profile based questions, your work profile related questions, the understanding of current affairs and opinions, all those things would be covered. We'll not go into the details as of now. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to understand the first important point, right? See, as I told you just few minutes before, that phase 1 is going to be heavily dependent on GA, qualifying the GA section, getting more marks in the GA section, right? Now, anybody who is preparing for other examinations, you usually make a mistake of thinking that the GA is the same kind of, stuff. That is not how it works, right? We will tell you how. Before that, let us understand the cutoffs, okay? See, here, based on 2015 to 2023, we have compiled a list of the minimum cutoff for each section and the maximum cutoff for each section. Okay, let's quickly go through this to make you understand why. If you are giving it for the first time and are not doing an analysis of how the previous year papers were, what were the scores, you don't understand how you need to perform, what are the areas you need to perform. Okay, general awareness, 12 was the least cutoff that was there out of 80. So anybody scoring 12 and above would have cleared. Okay. In quantitative aptitude, it dropped as low as 4.5 also. This is for general category that I'm talking about. Okay. For reasoning, 9. For English, 4. Right. Overall, we saw that last year, in fact, it was 54.25 in the year 2023. Okay, so you can see that out of 200, the cutoff was 54.25. That means the paper was difficult, right? So we'll talk about it. You don't need to worry about, cutoff being high or low. You just need to prepare accordingly, okay? So now based on this, we will have a strategy as to what are the important areas that we need to cover so that we at least get these minimum marks. Now, for all the sections, you cannot get the minimum marks. Why? Because you need to clear the overall cutoff also. Okay, so you need to maximize your score in GA. So here, out of these two sections, reasoning and English, okay, you need to choose one section, which is where you need to maximize your score. GA section already I told you. Quantitative aptitude section is something where we will just focus on clearing the sectional cutoff. Okay. Now, just quickly showing you the cutoff, don't go into depth. So 54.25 in 2023, you can see the sectional cutoffs as well here. Okay. Next, you can see in 2022, you can see 63.75 was the overall cutoff, right? Individually also, you can see the marks here. 2021, it was 66.5. So kind of ranging somewhere below, 70, the overall cutoff. Now, point number 2, okay, understanding how important GA is done. You understand from the cutoff discussion that we have had. The next thing is, it is very important that you get 55 plus in GA if the paper is easy. And if the paper is tough, you need to at least get 35. Right? So this should be your focus, that how you need to score 55 plus if the paper is easy and 35 plus if the paper is tough, right? We will see the strategy for it. How do I get 35 plus should be a question. And now your strategy starts from here. Let's do a quick recap. We have understood the pattern, right? We have understood how we need to approach in terms of understanding the importance of various sections. Now we know that if we need to clear phase 1, our concentration should be GA, right? Let's understand how do we get 35 plus in case the paper is tough. So here we are talking about the paper being tough. Why are we talking about the paper being tough? Because for the last 3 years, we can see the difficulty level of the paper was, on the higher side. And since we have lesser number of vacancies, there is an expectation that the paper standard will be high. Don't worry, we just need to, make sure that we're clearing the cutoff. That's our job right now, okay? So now, if you talk about the 4 categories in which we can divide the general awareness questions, let me walk you through it. The first category of questions, banking awareness and finance related questions. Okay, so these kind of questions that we are talking about are going to be common for phase 1 as well as phase 2. Okay, so this is something once I'll just walk you through at the end study plan. There I will tell you the topics also that will give you more clarity. But just understand it is about banking awareness and finance topics which are going to help you in phase 2 as well. Okay, now let's come to category 2. Category 2 is questions from Union Budget, Economic Survey and RBI Annual Report. So here also we are expecting 8 to 10 questions like how we are expecting in category 1. This is your target marks, okay, that out of say 8 to 10 questions being asked from banking awareness, you can solve 5 to 6 questions, that's good to go, okay. Then in the category 2, you can solve again 5 to 6 questions, okay. So we are just totaling up how do we need to get 35 plus, right? The next is category 3. This category is of prime importance for us. Okay. We have to cover these areas to make sure we are acing phase 1, RBI grade B phase 1. Let's talk about it. So around 45 to 50 marks out of 80 is going to be from this category for us. What are the areas that we are looking at? Okay. One is PIB. PIB is a very important source for your current affairs because it encompasses almost all the areas from where questions are being asked. Okay. The next is reports and indices. Very important. Okay. RBI circulars and notifications and government schemes. Understand these points are important. See, these days you have n number of material, right? You have n number of sources to read. People get confused. What should we cover? Current affairs is a broad term, right? When I tell you prepare current affairs for RBI grade B, it's not an easy job because practically you're lost, right? Current affairs means what? So let us break that down, right? Let us understand what is current affairs when I tell you prepare it for RBI grade B. Okay, no one size fits all approach. You need a customized preparation. Okay. Now here for PIB, just refer June, July, August. Okay, so there are 3 months of preparation for PIB, right? Reports and indices, April to August. Okay, we are talking about phase one. RBI circular notification, again, April to August. Okay, you have government schemes, latest. In the last 6 months, if they're in news, you need to cover. Now, what happens is you have a list ready for you. Now start covering. Okay, start covering one by one and you'll see the difference how you're able to solve the questions in the paper. Okay, now comes your fourth and the final category, which is only phase one related questions. So when I say only phase one related questions, these kind of questions you're not going to get in phase two. This question, category one, if you read, you will get questions in phase two. Okay, these kind of questions from union budget, from economic survey, from RBI annual report, you're definitely going to be getting in phase two, right? These kind of questions, PIB, reports and indices, circulars, government schemes, you'll definitely get in phase two. But this category four that you're looking at is going to be only for phase one. Example, sports news, right? Any news related to awards, any defense exercises that are happening, any books that have been released, right? Books and authors, for example. These kind of questions are only restricted to phase one. Okay, and over the years, now let me tell you, when in 2017, 18, 19, we used to get a lot of questions from this area. In fact, the paper was set such that out of 80, nearly 35, 40 were from this only. But there is a change now. Okay, now they have shifted that focus to this category. Okay, which is having a kind of alignment with phase two syllabus as well. Right now we are expecting around 10 questions from this category, and even if you're not able to do completely, you can just focus on 3 to 4 questions, solving 3 to 4 questions. One other point here, if you're somebody who's preparing for other exams, banking exams like IBPS PO or SBI PO, then this putting effort in this particular section is good, because you already are preparing for those exams. So there also you have GA, right? Current affairs. So that is common for you. So you'll be able to focus here. But in case you're preparing only for RBI grade B, right? In that case, I would suggest don't put much of effort in this category 4 questions. Okay, just try and do some, say 3, 4 questions. Example, if you're somebody who loves sports, try and cover sports alone for the last 3, 4 months. That's it. Okay, so at least you will get 1 or 2 questions from there and your job is sorted. Okay, so this is how you can actually crack phase 1 GA, right? Okay. Now, before we move forward, let me tell you a very a myth which is there among these students. I'm preparing for competitive exams, so my preparations for current affairs are going to be the same for RBI. That is where the students make a mistake. As I told you earlier also, it is not so. There are common points, I would agree. So for example, if you're preparing for IBPS PO or SBI PO, you would have practiced for quant, reasoning, English, right? You would have done that. Now again, the difficulty level varies. The questions being asked from different sections would vary. The level of general awareness would vary. The kind of questions or areas they're picking would vary. So you cannot do that. The correct approach is, I'm preparing for other competitive exams, which will be of some help to me, okay, when it comes to current affairs for RBI. But for clearing RBI grade B, I need to study in depth for having an exam oriented preparation, right? So we're not going to take the incorrect approach. We'll be taking the correct approach. Now, quickly, some of the points to follow for you. Know about the coverage. When you talk about phase 1, last 4 to 5 months current affairs are important. We just now saw in the tabular column, right? Like what should be the number of months that you need to refer to. Phase 2, last 6 to 7 months current affairs, okay? Reports and indices, 5 to 6 months. Government schemes, 2 things in news in the last 6 months, and flagship schemes which are there under different ministries. Last point, understand what news to cover and depth of coverage. I have heard this from many students that we have been preparing for years. Example, it's okay. I've been preparing for hours, right? Like in a single day, I put in 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, but I see the paper I'm not able to solve. What is the reason? The quality matters, not the quantity. If I'm sitting for 2 hours today and if I'm reading something which is not even relevant for the examination, you might be thinking I'm spending 2 hours, right? But are you spending those 2 hours in the right direction? That is why guidance is important. That is why understanding of the examination is important. That is where you seek the right things first. Okay, fine. For quant reasoning English, let us see what we need to do. We have already seen GA section. Your GA section should be sorted by now. In your mind, you should have a clear understanding that if I'm studying for RBI grade B GA, what are the areas I need to cover. Fine. Now let's move on to the next three sections that we were talking about: quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and English. Okay. Let's come to quantitative aptitude. Very simple. A section where I remember most of my students, whenever I used to have a one-on-one call with them, I had a lot of preparation strategy related calls. I have taken personalized mentorship program when I was in Olive Board. So at that point of time, there were 150 plus students who were there. I was a super mentor for them, right? So this particular question used to bother, that I'm not good in quantitative aptitude, so I cannot clear RBI grade B. That's not the case, right? This is the biggest myth, and if you don't know the pattern, only then you will come to this fear that I don't know and I'll not be able to clear. I'll tell you why. Very simple. Okay, we'll break this down for you. There are 30 questions here. Okay, and we have been seeing right now that we just need to clear the sectional cutoff for quant. Why qualifying in nature? We'll do it with GA, or we'll pick one section from reasoning and English. That's how we have visualized it, right? Okay. Now, there are three category of questions when you talk about quantitative aptitude. The first category of questions that you're talking about is DI questions. Data interpretation, there are going to be two sets. Okay, one set is going to be tough, I'll tell you. One set is going to be easily doable. That's how they usually come up in the paper. Okay, even if you're somebody who hates DI, if you just put a little focus there and you're selecting the correct DI, you'll be able to answer 3 to 4 marks. 3 to 4 questions you're going to get there. Now keep your focus like that only. The moment you start solving DI and you're able to crack, say, 3 4 questions, stop yourself, move on to the next category of questions. I have seen people, students, getting emotionally attached to the question, sitting on the question for 15 20 minutes. Your time is over. Remember, there is sectional timing. And that is where students actually suffer in quantitative aptitude. They sit on a particular question thinking, I will be able to solve it. No. In the first 2 3 minutes, make a decision. It's fine. You have 30 questions. From there, you will be able to select 8 to 10 questions. We just need that. Right? Okay. This is sorted for us. Now let's come to the second category of questions. So here you have number series, quadratic equation, quantity comparison, data sufficiency, miscellaneous type of questions. Okay. Again, aim for 3 4 marks from here. See, the quadratic equations, at least one or two easily doable. Okay, I have given the paper, so I know the kind of stress or the kind of questions that are there, right? And you have number series, you have see data sufficiency. Just start and aim 3 to 4 questions from there, right? So you that is sorted for you. Come to the third category of questions, which is again arithmetic heavy, right? You have topics like percentage, profit and loss, SICI, average, ratio and proportion. Again, aim just 2 to 3 marks from here. And I bet always when you start answering the question, quickly search for questions. That should be your approach. Qualifying in nature, I don't want to get 30 out of 30. Who cares? Even if I get 30 out of 30, I'm going to be treated the same way anybody who's getting 10 out of 30, as long as I'm meeting the other criteria, right? So why do I need to get obsessed with questions? You need to be smart. That's how you'll be able to clear the examination, right? Okay, let's come to reasoning now. Same way, the entire reasoning syllabus can be divided into three categories in front of you. The first category is going to be syllogs and reverse syllogism, direction sense, coding, decoding, inequality, blood relation, input, output. Okay, and some miscellaneous questions. What you need to do? Just get 8 to 10 marks out of 20 questions, right? So reasoning is for 60. Nearly 20 marks you'll get from these areas, right? Aim for 8 to 10 marks out of 20. Doable, definitely doable. Searching of the questions, as I told you, hunt for the questions. Don't start doing it from one go, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Just start searching. Okay. The next category of questions, you know that there are 6 set of puzzles usually that are asked for 30 marks. Again, like how quantitative aptitude creates fear among the students, puzzles is something I've heard every third student coming and asking, I'm not good in puzzles. I don't know puzzles. Understand one thing, reasoning is not equal to puzzles. Puzzles, one of the components in reasoning, right? Out of 60 marks, 30 marks, okay, I agree, is for puzzles. You have other 30, and I don't want you to get 60 out of 60. As simple as that, right? So here, there's going to be at least one puzzle which is easily doable. Okay? Your work is to search for that one puzzle. And in case you start with a puzzle, in the next 2-3 minutes, you will be able to understand whether I'll be able to solve this or not. If you're not able to solve it, don't get emotionally attached. Move to the next puzzle. One puzzle, right? So this is how you're going to get your 5 marks. In case you falter here, right? Don't get worried. Fine. So in case you're not able to do this also, don't panic. We have other questions to search for. Okay. Now we come to category 3 questions. Category 3 questions are critical reasoning based questions. If you're good in English, right? If you're comfortable with English, you're somebody who would love this section, or at least you'll have an upper hand. Okay, so you have questions from, say, course of action, statement and conclusion, cause and effect, assumption, inference. Again, there are going to be at least 10 questions from here. You can aim for 3 to 4 questions. Now, each one of you need to be smart enough, or at least take the guidance to understand where is your strength, right? I might be somebody who's very good in this area, and I know nearly 20 questions are from there. So I can tweak this plan. I can say, okay, I'll do some 12, 13 questions from there, right? I'm not good in this. I'll reduce my marks here. I'll get 2 marks here. That's enough for me. Okay? So this is how you need to approach reasoning. Let's come to English. English is pretty sorted, I'll tell you. And English does not have any categorizations because very simple, you have reading comprehension, you have error detection, para jumble, fillers, close test, match the following, miscellaneous type of questions. Every year it's kind of miscellaneous type, right? I would say treat English as a free flowing section here. In the reading comprehension, try your best to score maximum marks because that's the easiest among all the other kind of questions that are being asked in English section. Okay, and English is something where everybody will have a different forte. Like you might be very comfortable with para jumble, somebody can be comfortable in, say, error detection. So this one, take question by question. Okay, no such categorization or planning here. Very honest, just practice and see how you're able to do in this particular section. Okay, fine. So before we move on to phase 2, wrapping up for you quickly, right? RBI Grade B Phase 1, 4 sections, sectional timing is there. GA is the hero section, 80 out of 200, very simple math, right? Out of the other 3 section, quantitative aptitude, unpredictable section, not banking on it, just making sure you're clearing the sectional cutoff. Out of reasoning and English, choose one section which can be a star section along with the GA section, right? For your GA section, you have 4 categories of questions being asked. You know where to put your efforts into. I've already explained that to you, right? And we have also seen how to approach quantitative aptitude, how to approach reasoning, how to approach English. Okay. Now let's talk about phase 2 components. We will not go into the detail for phase 2 because we'll cover that in the study plan. But just to give you an idea, it's important for you need to know the cutoffs. Okay. So these are the cutoffs for your phase 2. This section that you're seeing, this column is out of 300. Okay. Let's see only from this year, 21, 22, 23. Okay. Now, in these 3 years, the interview was for 75 marks. Remember, they introduced descriptive answer writing, changed the interview marks from 50 to 75. This is out of 300, only your phase 2. Okay. And this is your phase 2 plus interview, which is taken into account for your final list, right? Understand one thing, and the average interview marks that they give, usually it is, out of 75, it can be 40, 45. Okay, it is subjective, right? You can't be very confident about how much you'll score in your interview. So your job is to maximize this part. This is in your hands because you have 3 papers here. Make sure you're maximizing this so that even if there is something that goes wrong in your interview, you have a buffer. Okay, so that should be your thought process. Now, before we move on to the study plan or the week-wise discussion, when you talk about phase 2, let me give you some facts. Let me clear some misconceptions for you. The first thing that you need to know, when you talk about ESI, economics and social issues, most of you related to economics. It's okay. Yes, we do have economics. See the syllabus. There are chapters from economics, but it has 2 components, static and current affairs. Okay. And this particular subject is 85 to 90 percentage current affairs heavy. All your questions are related to current affairs. Okay. So if you're new to this exam, don't do this mistake of studying the core of economics completely, devoting your 7-8 hours, and then you're realizing that it's not coming in the examination. You need to focus on current affairs. To understand the current affairs, your base should be formed. That is where the role of static concepts come in. Okay, for example, if I'm reading something about GDP, right, I need to know what is GDP. That is covered in your static concepts. Okay, so for that, your base should be set up. I'm reading union budget. If you don't know fiscal policy, it's going to be tougher for you to understand union budget. So your base is there in few of the chapters, but ultimately you're going to be questioned in the department of current affairs, be it descriptive answer writing or be it your objective answers or be it your phase 1 GA. Okay. Now come to finance. The same thing for finance. You have static, you have current affairs. So more number of questions these days are being asked from current affairs. And one other thing is, if they are asking you questions from static, those concepts are actually taken from the news only. Like if there's something happening in news in the current scenario, they will start questioning you the basics of that concept. Okay, so it's very important you understand what's happening. Management is the only subject which is completely static. It does not change. Okay, and this is something I would say scoring section. So everybody who's preparing for RBI grade B, I always advise them that be very confident with management. You don't have to read current affairs for management. You can, obviously, you will be applying the modern day scenarios. You will be taking examples for your descriptive answer writing. But this can actually help you score marks. Because these days in the FM paper, it has become 50-50. Right? Okay. Descriptive English and descriptive answer writing. See, one major mistake which the students are making these days is they want to complete the chapter first and then start writing answers. This cannot be the right approach. You need to start practicing. Don't wait for the day will come, I'll complete the chapter, I'll start writing. No. Have a very basic understanding of any topic and start writing answers. I'm telling this for descriptive answer writing as well because you have descriptive sections. Remember, 2 15 markers and 2 10 markers. I'm also telling you for descriptive English, right? Which has essay, which has précis, right? So all those things. When you start writing answers, what you're doing is you are addressing how to write part. And when you keep reading and analyzing your answer, you are using what to write part. What to write, ultimately, even in the last day, you're checking some points you will keep in your mind. But how to write is something you need to practice. This comes with practice, right? And if you want to see some model answers, you can just check the description box of this particular video. You'll be able to see few model answers, few questions, which you can go practice, evaluate yourselves. Okay. Last section of today's particular, session here. We have spoken about how one needs to clear. What are the, areas you need to focus. Now let's put this into a 5-week plan. Okay, because not everybody is comfortable making a schedule. Now if you're comfortable, you can make a schedule for yourself, right, based on the availability, the time availability. Example, few of you can be working, right, and at the same time you're preparing, so definitely you need to tweak your work times, your study time accordingly. Few of you might be preparing full time, so you can have a different schedule, but we are just helping you out to come up with a plan. Okay, let's talk about week 1 here, right? Now, when I say week 1, I'm dividing this plan into phase 1 and phase 2. Okay. For phase 2, very important, check these topics. Now, these topics are such that they are going to be asked in phase 1 GA section as well. If you remember, I told you there is a category which talks about banking and financial awareness related topics. Okay, I'll just show you quickly. Can you see here category 1, banking, awareness and finance topics, right? So I told you we'll be explaining this in the later section. Now, the questions are going to be from these areas, which you can see here in the study plan. Yeah, sure. Fine. So these are the areas, if you read phase 1 GA, it will help you in phase 1 GA. You'll be able to score some 6-7 marks there. Second thing, even in phase 2, you will be asked questions from these topics, even in the descriptive answer writing part. Okay, monetary policy, inflation, right? Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the base for understanding union budget. So I've written it there. Structure and function of financial institutions, be it RBI, be it SIDBI, be it NABARD, right? Banking system in India, urban cooperative banks, regional rural banks, payment bank, small finance bank, right? Non-banking systems, NBFCs, definitely questions from here, right? You have financial risk management, the Basel norms. Read these questions in the week 1 of August, right? Attempt descriptive answers. Don't shy away from attempting descriptive answers. You need to take that step. Okay. The next thing you will be able to see here is your week 2 basically. Okay. Now, let's also talk about week 1 phase 1 coverage, right? What we have done is earlier I've explained to you what are the areas that you need to read for phase 1. We have just divided that here. Okay, we have just divided that here. So April, May is something that you need to concentrate, complete RBI circular notification, reports and indices, government schemes and news. Okay, and you need to attempt one full length mock test. Fine. Come to week 2. Week 2 is June, completely June. Okay, for June, RBI circular notification. For June, reports and indices. June, coverage of PIB and government schemes and news. Right? The other thing, complete union budget and attempt one full length mock test. Okay. Now you can see for phase 2, complete management portion. If you have already done, it's going to be easier. But in case you're new, you haven't touched management portion, do these 3 chapters. Motivation, leadership and communication. Okay. So complete these 3 chapters here. Fine. In case you have time, you can complete, but otherwise don't panic, because you will have 40 days around of time between phase 1 and phase 2, but I would still recommend for you to make sure that you're at least getting a hold on these important topics or chapters that have been mentioned here. Okay. Now come to week 3. Week 3, we are talking about July. Okay. So you can see week 1, April, May. Week 2 is going to be June. Week 3 is going to be July. Okay. And we'll also do economic survey. We'll also solve 2 full length mock tests. Right? If you actually sit down and break this down further for you in today's, you will see the difference happening. Because I see students are all over the place. They are confused. What to read, when to read, current affairs, should I read PIB, which newspaper should I refer? Don't get panic. Okay, don't panic in the first place. Have a strategy, put a schedule for yourself. This is a master schedule for week. You break this down in days for you based on your time availability. Right? Okay. In the same week 3, what I would recommend you to do is attempt descriptive answers, ESI, FM, and descriptive English. Don't shy away from writing answers. These first 3 weeks you need to utilize. Because when I move to 4th and the 5th week, you'll realize that we are not going to touch phase 2. Okay. Let's talk about week 4, week 5. Very simple. I'm only thinking about phase 1 here. Let's not talk about phase 2 here. We are done. Week 3, 3 weeks of August, we have done our best to make sure that we are at par. Once we clear phase 1, we'll be able to give our best in phase 2. But now these 2 weeks, super concentration on phase 1. Okay. I want you to complete August in week 4. The first 2 weeks you can cover, or first 3 weeks you can cover. RBI annual report and 2 full length mock test here. Okay. Then you move on to week 5. Revision. Revision is the key. Remaining August, whatever you're done, revision is going to be for April to July. Yeah, so April to July is something we'll be doing. Okay, and complete August remaining things and do 2 full length mock test. Whenever you're doing or solving full length mock test, make sure you're analyzing the mock test after that. Most people make this mistake. They just give the mock test, move on to the next one. No, mock test is a learning tool. Right? Don't use it as a testing tool. That testing is going to be done on the day of the examination. Right? You need to learn from the mock test. That's the agenda here. Fine? And that's the agenda for any kind of test. Even if you're writing descriptive answers, don't judge yourself for it. You're learning after writing the answer. You'll judge yourself only once you go and write the examination, the main day. Okay? So this is the entire strategy that we have tried to bring for you in terms of how you need to crack RBI Grade B examination. this is a very prestigious post, right? And there are so many students preparing for it. The only thing that will set you apart or will help you to clear is the right guidance, the right way to approach the examination. Again, focus on quality and not quantity, right? So for any further updates, stay tuned to this channel and just let me know what are the other things you would want me to clear. Do you want me to make a video on, say, how to clear RBI grade B, just the GA section? Do you want me to bring a section, a session wherein we can discuss past year papers? Or you want to, maybe listen to a section which talks about how one can manage preparation along with the work, right? Because many of you are working professionals. So let me know that in the comment section. I'm here to guide you. It's been a long time. I've waited for this day wherein I can come in and give you or make the student's life easier, because I've been through that phase and been in the industry for 6 7 years now, right? Fine. So thank you guys. All the best. Please check the description box of this particular video for sure. There are many more things that you'll be able to take away from this particular session when you check the description box. Till then, please keep learning and all the best. Let's do this.